everyone, this is Tina with Tiaza's Treasures, and today I have a quick card for you featuring Pink and Main's December 2021 card kit of the month called A Frosty Hello. And it comes with this cute card with this little penguin and all the snowflakes. And on the back side, it has everything that's included in the kit plus the color palette. We have this wonderful stencil with all the snowflakes that match the pattern paper a lot. There is a bunch of enamel glitter dots. They're kind of iridescent, or see-through with glitter in them. Some beautiful sequins. We have this fun little embossing folder. My brain just kind of quit for a minute there. All these different pattern papers that a lot of them have like the snowflakes that kind of match the stencil in a way. This one's got all the colors and it's smaller. I am going to move that out of the way for a moment. We've got a couple pieces of beautiful silver iridescent cardstock, 6x6. Now here we have the stamp and the matching dies, which is always nice. Pink and Main always has a bunch of dies. Now these penguins are so cute. There's like 6 of them in different poses along with some different sentiments. And we also get this really nice mesh bag that comes every month. And now I've got a couple pieces of paper that I had already cut down because I started putzing around with this kit when I realized, I should film what I'm doing instead of just like, doing it just for fun. I think I'll put it on camera. So we've got this couple sheets of blue cardstock, a lime green, beautiful glitter purple, and a glitter white, along with a couple sheets of powdered sugar white cardstock. Now, like I said, I was putzing around and I already embossed and cut down a sheet of paper. And I'm using the debossed side because it's just so beautiful the way it's all raised up. I don't think you can really see it here. So anyway, to start off, being as I had already glued that debossed piece of paper on a glitter cardstock background, so as a frame, I am going to take all the little penguins here, and I'm not sure what penguin at this point I'm going to use, and I'm not sure how many cards I'm going to end up making. So I am just going to stamp them all out, all the penguins. I only use one for the card, but I'm probably going to come back a little later with another card video perhaps and use some of these other penguins. You won't have to watch me do an unboxing again. And they might be another little quick video using up these other penguins that I didn't use for this card. If that makes sense, I'm sure it does. All my subscribers are really bright people. I mean, if they can follow what I'm saying when I'm sounding really off the wall, you've got to be pretty bright. So I am using some Zig, what are they called? The Zig Clean Color Real Brush Markers. I had to pull one out to look at it, to read it. And I am doing all my coloring. Now, I'm not going to be doing much shading other than the little balloon and the little tutu there. I use a couple different colors of blue. So I got these zigs for my birthday in October, and I haven't used them a whole lot. They don't work real well on all types of cardstock, so I finally got some Bristol Smooth that I ordered, and they seem to be working fairly well on this. You can see with that little red balloon, a few times I kind of seemed to go out of the lines a bit, but because I was using the blender, I was able to kind of push it back in, push the color back in. I used 2 different colors of red on this. Now, I don't have all my colors out there because everything's so basic. I just pulled a couple reds, a couple blues. I used orange for the beaks. And like I said, no real blending, but I did use, instead of a water brush, I used the blender brush that came with all these zigs. If anybody has a good idea on how to store these, I'd love to hear it. I know Jennifer Wyers got a thing where she took little dots of all the colors and put, using glossy accents, put a little dot on each lid so you could see the color. But I had heard that some of those kind of, once you put the glossy accents on, it fades the colors out, and so that's not an ideal solution for me. And I've got a swatch page, but that can be a bit, hard trying to find which color goes with each pen, because the only color on these is on the back. On the very bottom they have the colors, but it doesn't really match true to the color of the pen. So I may just throw them all in a box. I don't know. I gotta find a way though to make it a little easier to grab the ones I want. So anyway, here I am just die cutting all these pieces out now that I'm done, and I am trying to put the dies back on the sheet. And here's my card, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And I figure I'm going to use little penguin. My thought is to take the little card that we got that has the card kit and the card kit contents and the little penguin and everything that came in the kit. I'm going to use the postcard as inspiration. It's got the little penguin with the balloon, and it's got this little a diagonal stripe. And even though the diagonal stripe is just pattern or regular cardstock, it looks like colors, I'm going to use pattern paper. Now what I'm doing here is, because I already had glued down my embossed little sheet there, in order to make sure I got the right angle, I took another piece of cardstock the exact same size, and I just taped my paper down to it so I could cut around it and get that corner, that left bottom corner right. Now here I am thinking, do I want to use this doily? And I thought that was just a little too busy, and so I want to bring in this silver paper here, the silver iridescent paper, and I'm going to cut an oval out of it. Now this silver iridescent paper, when you look at it, it's got little squares that almost looks like the silver is pixelated. You can see it pretty good there. And I just thought that kind of just reminds me of snow, like a blizzard background for some reason. And so I am going to use that as my oval. And I am going to just glue the little bitty penguin right on top of there. And I'm going to take two little snowflakes that I colored and cut out. Now I did use, I didn't mention it, for those little snowflakes I used Simon Says stamps, saturated, what is it? I've got it in front of me, and yeah, the positively saturated ink and ocean color. And that just matches this cardstock wonderfully. And so I'm going to use that for a sentiment as well. And the sentiment I chose is "You're the coolest." And I'm just using a little scrap of white cardstock here to put that on. And I am going to use some sentiment strips to cut that out. I've got some sentiment strips from Simon Says stamps that I use for like those black sentiment cards you can buy right there. So I'm going to just choose one of those and use it to cut out my sentiment, and it cuts out beautifully. And I'm just going to kind of cut the end off at an angle there. And now I've got all the pieces that are going to go on my card pretty much, and I just need to glue everything. So I'm going to start by gluing my little diagonal piece, and we're going to glue that right on, making sure that I get a nice adherence. And now I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of this sentiment. So I've got a couple pieces of foam tape, and I'm just putting that on the back, and I'm going to attach this piece of, or this sentiment, right to the very top of the blue cardstock. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm using the white glitter cardstock as a frame around. And it's really got some sparkle, this card. And I'm going to pop up this oval as well for a little bit extra dimension. I hope everyone had a wonderful new year. I was asleep for the first time, and I don't know how long when the clock struck midnight. Fireworks woke me up, and the dogs barking at the fireworks, but I can't remember I don't remember since I was a kid being asleep at midnight. It's kind of sad. So I'm putting down my oval there and just attaching it. And I'm just going to use some regular glue, some Barely Art glue for my little penguin. And we're just going to glue him right down there. I just love his little face. You know, he's got the little rosy cheeks. And so I'm going to take the two little snowflakes I stamped and cut out, and I'm going to just put them right to the side there, because otherwise we'd have a big bare spot on our oval. And I'm looking at this card, and even with the debossing and everything else, I think it needs just a little bit more. And so I decide on sequins. I don't want to go overboard, and I just think a few sequins will work perfectly. Now I start out trying a couple of I believe they're iridescent white, and I don't like the way those look. And so in the end, I end up bringing some kind of transparent purple. They're not totally transparent, but you can see through them a little bit. And so I bring the purple ones, and I'm going to end up using those. You can see I'm still trying to figure out what sequence I'm going to use and where I'm going to put them. And I do not like that wax pencil I'm using. I had like a crystal katana that all the wax pieces broke, and I just bought a new one that came in, not in time to make this card, but for my next cards. I have all sorts of wax pencils and embellishment wands, and I like those ones with the crystal katana ones with the crystals in the center the best. I just think they work better than a lot of the other ones. This wax pencil's not too bad. I mean, it's great to have in a pinch. It's going to last me forever. They came with the Pink and Main Crafty Courtyard kit, I want to say maybe 3 months ago. So if you didn't have anything, they're nice in that regard. So there's the 3 little sequins, actually 4 sequins I put on. And this is my card. So if you liked this, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe. Love all my subscribers. See ya.